Welcome to BS Film Talk. Ben couldn't be with us today, so you just stuck with me. But I'm keeping him in spirit. There he is. Hello. Right, I'm just going to jump right into it. Okay, Ben! What... What's the first film we watched this week? Went to see Black Panther. The 18th Marvel movie, I think. Now, I'm a big fan of Marvel movies. And as far as Marvel movies go, this one is very middle of the road. I enjoy them all. I think they're all enjoyable movies, but there's some I like more than others. For example, Captain America: Civil War, The Winter Soldier, The First Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy. They're all, they're my favourite ones. At the lower end, you've got things like Thor: The Dark World and Iron Man 2, and I'm not particularly a fan of Spider-Man: Homecoming, but they're all enjoyable. I like them all. Now, Black Panther has the best and the worst elements of the movies in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. First of all, I'll just start with it's a fantastic film. It's a fantastic celebration of particular groups of people. It's a primarily black cast. It's a great message for children, particularly black children or children from not a very nice background. And African people in general, anybody from any African nation. The costume design, I know, is particularly fantastic. Is taken from various tribes all over Africa, and each in Wakanda, in the fictional nation where Black Panther's set, they're split into different tribes around the country, and they each have their own colours, their own way of marking their skin and things, and it's a nice. Like I say, a nice celebration of all the different real-world African nations. He's done it again! I think it's a film that's needed. Its plot points, its messages, its politics are very real-world, very grounded, and interesting conversations to have within the film and afterwards outside. So I praise it for everything it does. I think it's a fantastic, and not too soon either. But let me get my arsehole filmmaker head on. I did like it. It's a solid story. Black Panther was introduced in Captain America: Civil War, so this isn't exactly an origin story. It's more a continuation of where we found him last time, and this is him coming back home to Wakanda to become the king. He is now the king of Wakanda, and he's in charge. Chadwick Boseman does a great job. Talk about actors and about points this film is making. The women, Danai Gurira and Lupita Nyong'o. You've got Angela Bassett. Who's the girl who plays Shuri? I can't think of her name. Letitia Wright, is that her name? Yeah, that's her name. Brilliantly strong characters in this. Each with something to do. They're all needed. All these characters have relevant effect on the plot and the story. Coming to the story, I would say a little predictable in terms of, the narrative beats. Here's T'Challa, let's see him do something cool. Here's the bad guy, they do something bad. They meet, they have a bit of a tiff. I could tell where it was going, and this is kind of the problem with Marvel at the minute. Most of their films, not exclusively, but most of them have the same story structure. They usually follow the 3-act structure and end with, just a big fight at the end. And it's a shame to say it's a similar story here, but the thing is, Ryan Coogler, the director, takes that and does a fantastic job with it. It's the way, this story we've seen before, but it's the way it's told, the manner in which it's done. Michael B. Jordan plays Eric Killmonger, and again, like previous villains, by the end of the film, he's just like an evil version of the hero. In a way, T'Challa has a suit, Eric has a suit, but his motivations are sound. He's not just want to take over. I'm just a bad guy for the sake of being bad. I don't like you, T'Challa. He has valid reason, and partway through the film, his outlook, the way he views that world and his goals, I wasn't against him. He had valid points that I could have got behind. If the reason he's a villain is because he has a certain goal, but he just goes the wrong way about it. If we go to the movie rating, app/website Letterboxd. I give the film 4 stars. Basic story is predictable, but it's directed well. The scene in the casino is brilliantly choreographed. The acting's brilliant, and it's a fantastic celebration of black culture, African culture, women. It's an all-round solid film, and it's tastefully done. It's tastefully done. Another new film that came out, The Cloverfield Paradox. Now, Cloverfield, first one. Yeah, pretty good. Alright, it's a solid film. It was executed well, good idea. It's found footage, it's a novelty. I enjoyed it. It's nothing spectacular to me, but I enjoyed it. It's a good film. 10 Cloverfield Lane is brilliant. You know, it's fantastic. Paranoid thriller set in one location, and then the Cloverfield aspects pop out at the end. Cloverfield Paradox, right? Why does this film exist? This film, and I'm glad it wasn't released in cinemas, because I think they knew that it would be shit, so they thought, I'll stick it on Netflix. I can see the conversation in J.J. Abrams' office. So why is that one called Cloverfield and that one's called Cloverfield Lane? Why they're different films. Why are they called Cloverfield? And he has like a one line. Oh, it's because of that ship, isn't it? And then the other guy went, oh, I'm gonna make a film of that. The Cloverfield Paradox is like a prequel comic that's like 5 pages long, and they thought, just as an explanation, as this is why they're called Cloverfield, and just dragged it out with all this unnecessary shit that they didn't need. This film didn't need to exist. This film, like I say, in a way explains why each of the films is called Cloverfield. You know, there's monsters and aliens and stuff. It's Cloverfield, right? The whole explanation could have been a throwaway line or, you know, a news report or something in the first Cloverfield. Minor spoilers, if you don't want to know why they're all called Cloverfield, please skip ahead like 30 seconds on this video, or just watch it. I mean, you know, I'm not your dad. In the Cloverfield Paradox, there's a ship called the Cloverfield, and they have this weird machine, and the machine blows up, so then it splits all multiverses, universes open, and then monsters and aliens get thrown into each universe, and that's why they're there. It's all because of this ship. Like I say, this could have just been said. They didn't need this full movie for it. It's terribly written. This metal wall sucks in a man's arm. He pulls his arm out, well, he just pulls, and he doesn't have his arm left. Why? There's no explanation. Some worms are in this guy's eyes, and then they just come out of his mouth. Why? There's no explanation. It's just weird goings on. Just weird goings on. Fuck off. The bit that proper annoyed me. It's set in space, it's on a spaceship, right? And there's a bit of damage to the hull, right? So then they go out of the spaceship into space. So go on the outside of the hull and repair it. They get their spacesuits on, right? And they get out, right? And there's no gravity in space, is there? Or is there? They're walking, they go outside of the ship, they're walking around going, oh, we've got to get over here on this thing. And one person goes, oh no! Slips and falls down like there's gravity. And they have to reach down and get them and pull them back up. You're safe. They're outside. They're in space. There's no gravity. I mean, there's gravity to the earth, but there's no, gravity pulling them. If I let it's that kind of gravity outside this. Prove me, explain that differently to me. It was predictable, terribly acted. I'm sorry. Does everybody remember Daniel Bruhl in Rush, Inglourious Bastards? What does he do here? He's just, he's a bit German. Gugu Mbatha-Raw is fine. She's fine. There's a whole subplot with her husband on Earth, which fucking goes nowhere. This film is a letdown for the Cloverfield franchise. They shouldn't have put the Cloverfield name on it. I think that's the only reason people watched it, because it's another Cloverfield film. They have a 4th one coming out called Overlord, which is coming out in cinemas, which hopefully proves that'll be a better fare. I gave it a 2 on the movie rating app website Letterboxd. The opening set up some good ideas, good CGI in it, and there's a nice shock within the first 20 minutes that got me, that I didn't see coming, but then it just fucking shits on itself. It's shit. It's, what was it, burn? It's just trashy. Just chuck it in the bin. Get in the bin! I'm lost without Ben. He has his little notes. He has his little notepad, and I don't have the notepad. He'd be sat now talking about budgets and just nodding, agreeing with me. I think he'll be back next week. Right, thanks for watching. See you next week. Oh, he's gone home for the weekend, hasn't he?